The Pelicans of the city of New Orleans, they went full on, we're gonna do something totally different. Um, if you unless you're looking at the bottom corner, you're not even gonna see the word New Orleans or Pelicans. Like it's like
Mm.
small down there. So they're doing the fleur de lis, like the three of those there with the number there. They're doing the red, white, blue with the gold there. And I this is an example to me of a franchise say, oh, let's create something from scratch that represents our city. And using the flag of New Orleans, it's I'm a fan of this. I like it. It's clean. I like when you're able to just make icons just stand on their own and people just know what that is, and they're not this doesn't feel forced to me. Like it feels like there's a theme they went for and they executed it. So what are your thoughts on the New Orleans Pelicans?
When I first saw these, I liked the idea, the concept, and the way that you're tying this to the flag and to the city. I think is brilliant. The flag by nature, the way it's designed, is a little bit weird because the stripe on the top and the stripe on the bottom are very thin, which is why you have so much white in this jersey.
Mhm.
And that part, I think, is a little, it translates a little bit weird onto the jersey, but it's not bad. And so I like this from a design standpoint, and more importantly, like what they're trying to do. Like this really, really is kind of the embodiment of what you're trying to do with a city edition jersey. People in New Orleans love this flag, and it's something that they're proud of. It's recognizable, and you know, I say go for it. They went for it, and I like it. The name and number are just plain blue. They're not outlined in anything nonsensical. And yeah, it's just by nature of how the flag is designed. It's a little bit weird where the stripes start and stop. That's my only real gripe, and that's just because they went true to the flag. So if I'm gonna gripe about something being actually accurate, then what am I doing here? It just looks a little bit off, but otherwise they did great.
Speaking of great, I know this is like your favorite. We've gotten to your favorite
Mm-hmm.
consistently, your favorite team, that's your favorite brand. That's so unique. It's so on point all the time. The Oklahoma City Thunder, passion, pride, innovation. These are the words that are below the tweet that I'm looking at. So TJ, I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure. I mean, the colors are, those are the colors. Um, Oklahoma, there, not Oklahoma City. Entire state of Oklahoma. It's diagonal things happening with colors.
This jersey is interesting. The jersey itself is like it is what it is. It's boring because they have no branding concept. But what I will say is the concept of claiming the entire state of Oklahoma is something they should have done from the start. Like I understand you're in OKC. I understand that's where you're going to play. But you're the only top tier professional sports team in the state. So claim Oklahoma. You know, you don't have to play games in Tulsa if you don't want to, but I mean, like Tulsa's not really like, yeah, OKC, it's where it's at. Not everyone loves that. They have city pride. Tulsa has a whole like look up the Tulsa flag if you want to see a cool story because that's awesome. So if you do something where you claim all of Oklahoma and you put the state on you, then that's something cool that they should have been doing a long time ago because they already do that. And so I think it's cool to put Oklahoma on there. I think that that's a thing that a lot of people are going to like. Where this kind of falls apart is the rest of it's not great. Like it's diagonal stripes for innovation. Like, no. You know what's innovative? Not keeping your placeholder logo when you moved here from Seattle. Like, it's time. You had that beautiful blue with the feathers and the tribal inspiration that you paid tons of money to create. Do that. Do a white version of that. Do an orange version as your city and call it a day. But no, we have to keep this dumb shield because you're used to it now. That's how we've always done it. No, no, please, please. If you're tired of these, like that gray atrocity you wore a couple seasons ago, if you're tired of that nonsense, which you clearly are, innovative diagonals, you need to do something with your branding. You need to commit to something. And you did it already. You did it like a couple seasons ago. Just take it. It's right there. Oh my gosh. I'm on my soapbox again. But
The tribal
yeah.
the tribal OKC uniforms like had history, story, like it was innovative. Like that was actually innovative. Like the OKC, like that was.
And there
It's
was passion in it and pride. There was state pride. There was tribal pride. There was history in it. There was unity. There was so much going for it. You could do a black version of that uniform. You could do other versions of it. You could do a state flag version of it. You could do whatever you want, but just your options are limited when you're trying to incorporate things into a placeholder brand.
the Phoenix Suns, and it's an interesting way to go. They absolutely, shot for the moon here as far as like let's do something totally different that nobody would be expecting. But I don't think I like it as much as I could if they made some different decisions. I don't know. It's just this falls for me, like you said, in one of those. I don't hate it, but it didn't quite hit for me. What are your thoughts on this?
I differ from you a little bit there because, and maybe it's because I've watched the video that they did where they did the uniform reveal and stuff. Um, I really like this. The way that, I mean, if you're looking at it, like if you didn't tell me who the valley is, like if I showed this to someone, I think enough people might think that it looks like a sunrise, right? And so there's that kind of aspect, and then like the darkness and the dark sky and the city below. It's like it's supposed to embody the hills or the mountains around the valley that Phoenix is in. But also, I think that the design of it, that the kind of point design, could look like a city sky. Like a skyline as well. So I think it kind of has like a double play in there because it is a big metropolitan area, but it's also in the desert. I like the colors and the way that it works. Claiming the valley is kind of a cool thing. Like it's not something they've done before, to get more of that, Phoenix, Tempe area kind of, incorporated in, and just kind of that font's kind of more reminiscent of kind of like the Western look, which I can appreciate a lot. There's just a lot of things in here that I like, and from a cohesive branding standpoint, I think that this one works better than most, if not all, of the ones we've seen so far. It's at least they, like you said, they went for it. They committed to it, and I think it's a cool look. I'd like to see the court. I think it'll look really cool.
Now the court, I feel like that's with this. If they do a court that's like this, I feel like the court has high potential to being one of my favorite courts because I feel like they gave themselves a lot of colors and a lot to play with here. Like I see the court maybe basically mimicking the jersey where it's like you have the court, if the court actually changed colors like that, like as you went up, or at least had like different shades as it went up, I think that would be really cool. Because I think overall, I think I like the idea, and I like the concept, and I like the colors of it. I don't know, and it might just be like once I see it like in play with many of these, like we talk about, like maybe once we see them, then our opinions might change with it. But I definitely don't think this is bad. I definitely don't think this is bad at all. Because it's like the complete opposite of the Oklahoma City one, where it's like I actually know what they're going for here, and there's a story that they're actually telling, and there's elements where it's like, oh, I see this. So if I saw like I'm sure if I watch the video, I feel like I'll once I watch the video, I'll have a higher opinion of this, like a slightly higher opinion of this, because I can tell they're actually telling a story with it, and the story is actually relevant to the city. The Portland Trailblazers.
The Oregon Trailblazers.
I've had a lot of thoughts on this. Initially, I was out because this gut, like the brown, I didn't really rock with the brown, and the but then I like went to the website, studied the histories, found out what they were going for and stuff like that. So as far as like messaging and what it's about, like I'm absolutely here for it. Like I'm absolutely here for everything as far as like honoring the tribal nations and doing the Oregon because this is the land, the home from the beginning. Like I get all of that. I guess it's just like it'll take me a minute to like wrap my head around like just a brown kind of like it's because it's a more earthy uniform. So
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely respect the because it's like it's one of those things where it's like I can respect your uniform if it actually means something and you're not trying to retroactively put meaning behind your random diagonal lines. So it's like it's referencing the scenery, the Oregon, and it's like taking from like the Portland, Oregon sign. So that's why it's like diagonal like that. It has little, stuff about the tribal nations.
Yeah, so everything I just said about Phoenix, everything I just said about their valley thing. They incorporated. This has thought. They thought about this. The tribal inspiration, the state sign, like claiming the whole state is something they should have done a long time ago. The things I said about some of the ones in the past. This one, I think, what's so jarring for people is the color scheme. But it's if you're going to do something an alternate look, I mean, like Utah went for it when they came out with their gradient. Phoenix is doing something now, but their colors didn't change. They're doing something here, and I definitely respect it. Whether or not it looks good on whatever court they choose, that's yet to be seen. But I mean, from a sheer branding standpoint, I mean, this is awesome. Like this is so creative, so cool, so out of the box. The weirdest thing for me is the G on the front looks kind of odd, but like that could
Like
just be a picture.
like they
But
were
like,
trying to do maybe they were trying to do like the deer the deer horn like the deer horns or something, but like because like there's like a I don't know if it's like a deer like on the sign, like the Portland, Oregon
hmm,
sign. It kind of reminded me of that, but like obviously since the G it's pointing down, so it could be something like that.
maybe. But like I said, I think it's really cool. And at the end of the day, I mean, you still got your red in there for your team, so I like it. I want to see it on the court. I'm excited to see how it plays out. But just from the thought that they put into it alone, I think this is one of the top designs.
The Sacramento Kings here have their Sacktown jerseys, which, according to their website, the heritage red, for the origins in the Rochester being the Royals in 51, and the blue, the proud for when they, 85, when they moved to Sacramento, and Baby Blue celebrates their humble beginnings in Sacktown. And then the checker pattern which debuted in 94, uh, reimagined, and then the tradition black. What? Some of these explanations. Black has been one of our primary colors since 94. So I don't know if I don't think you had to like explain that one in a dramatic way. But what do you think of Sacktown, TJ?
Um, I think that Sacramento is still floating around in a vast emptiness of no identity. There's nothing to cling to. They're like trying to throw in parts of their past to be like, look, remember when we weren't good back then? Like it's I had there was a school that I used to we were kind of rivals, I guess, in high school, and their colors were this light blue and red, and they tried to make black uniforms happen all the time. It don't work. And if it is going to work, it's not going to be by outlining something blue with red, especially that blue. Do you see how much the 5 pops on your concept? That's because it's not outlined in red. No to the thing you're trying to do. I liked it better when they had that logo, like the lion ball logo, like in the center of their jerseys. Those looked cool, And also, I'll just get this out there. I'm not salty that you're not trying to throw back to when the team split times between two of my home cities of Kansas City and Omaha. I'm not salty about that. But you might have a better jersey if you did.
Dang, TJ. Dang, son.
They call it shade black on those jerseys.
Shade black. Oh man, Sacramento, you're trying. You're trying something.
They did indeed try more
Now,
than Oklahoma City.
oh, seems like everybody tried more than Oklahoma City. New York Knicks in the wrong way. But so we have arrived at for me, I think it's between Charlotte and this team, the San Antonio Spurs. I love the San Antonio Spurs City Edition. Like it goes it's like a throwback to their old, like the windsuits that the team would wear like way back in the day when they were, and I love like the color. So it's like I love their use. I love the font that they use for San Antonio with the little spur, dotting the I. I'm a big fan of the San Antonio Spurs. And then they have the little patterns at the bottom of the jersey. I'm a big fan of the.
People have been asking for the Fiesta colors for a while, and with the Spurs kind of their, I guess, era that they were in where they were having success is now over, and they've had some really big, like all-time great Spurs retire. It's time to bring them back, time to freshen it up. You're not in those early, 2010s anymore. Like, this is a new era. We need to get the fans back. They've been rocking the Fiesta colors already. So this is cool. I think that if you're going to do the colors smart, then you need to do like this. It's just bold lines, and they're going to incorporate that in the court. I've already seen that. It looks really good, and it's going to be in the warm-ups. It looks really good. The colors, when you do them this way against the black, it pops in the way that it's supposed to. And they could have done some old logos or done things slightly differently, but this is cool. And if this works, when it does work, this could be a step in the right direction to having this the way that Miami has their Vice stuff. You're going to get this kind of a jersey every year from here on out. So this is just the first one. Just rock with it. Just roll with it. I wish it had different numbers. But that's a nitpick. I'm just nitpicking at that point. This is really clean.
Now, Utah released theirs, and Utah played it similar to the Clippers, where they were like, listen, we already hit the jackpot. We've already done it. Let's just actually more so like the Nuggets, where the Nuggets were like, okay, we've already hit the jackpot, but let's just change the color a little bit. Let's change a little bit. So Utah still has those levels of color kind of going up. So they've kind of like invert or change it up in a way, but basically it's a similar scheme as what they used before. It's just the jersey is now the darker version of the jersey, and it goes to light as you go up, and then the pants go to light as you go down. I think this is slick, and with the kind of box shape of Utah with the basketball, like I think this is in the camp of Utah. Hey, just change your branding to this. Just go full on. What are your thoughts on Utah?
Like you said, super clean. I saw when they came out with the first version of this, which was like stripes all the way down, and like it was interesting because it was like light at top and got all the way dark at the bottom of the pants. Like it was an interesting look, and the court was an interesting look. I think that this is a really cool, logical next progression for that series. I like that the color is kind of held up to the top. Utah really pops. The number pops because guess what? They trusted the colors and they let it happen. Utah could have been a different color if they wanted to, but I think it works here for it to be in white. I'm not sure that I'm super in love with the striping down the one side of the pant. I wish that the state of Utah with the basketball logo like that they have, I wish that was kind of bigger and on one side, but the stripes don't offend me on the pants. So it's, you know, I like it. I'll be interested in seeing what they did for like the court this time, because when they did the court in the past for these, like the striping was kind of up and down the sides, and it looks really cool. And you mentioned that this could be like, hey, do Utah and Miami, these are your looks now.
Yes.
Embrace them. This is it. Full-time uniforms all the time. Give us a white version of this Utah, and then you can do alternates in whatever colors you want to at that point. And then you have your throwbacks, which I will say this is a beautiful opportunity for them to do a version of this striped jersey, like the striped uniform, with the old purple and blue color scheme.
Yo, TJ, you just stumbled upon something there. That would be fire, bro. That would be fire.
Do the mountain outline as a break. Like, yeah, it's right there for you. The striping thing is unique. It looks really cool. It's unique to them. Like, even with Phoenix doing something like it and with Denver doing something similar, this is very Utah. People know this as Utah. Give me the color gradient of the old school logo or old school color scheme, and I think people would buy that like crazy.
So yeah, thank you for watching. I'd like to thank TJ for being a part of this. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Let us know in the comment section down below what was your favorite. And remember, as you go along in life, teach as you learn and inspire as you do. See you next time.